You're listening to Clearview Today with Dr. Abadan Shah, the daily show that engages mind and heart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Ryan Hill.
I'm John Galantis.
You can find us online at clearviewtodayshow.com, or if you have any questions for Dr. Shah or suggestions for new topics, send us a text at 252-582-5028, or you can email us at contact@clearviewtodayshow.com.
That's right. And you guys, the listeners, you guys out there in Radio Land can help us keep the conversation moving forward by supporting the show. And you can do that by sharing it online with your friends and family. Leave us a good 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify. Absolutely nothing less than 5 stars. For any reason, we're going to leave a couple of links in the description of this podcast so we can do just that.
We had some mail come in.
We just got a letter.
We just got a letter. Opa Blues Clues style.
We just got a letter.
Wonder what it says. I wonder who it's from.
I wonder who it's from. That's it. Shout out to Steve.
Shout out to you,
You're one of my favorite people in the world, Steve. And guess what? This one's for you. Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail. Mail. This one is from Mark. Mark. You know what? While I was singing that theme song, I should have been pulling it up.
This is from Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Marky Mark from Western North Carolina is what he said. Marky Mark wanted to let you guys know. I'm pulling it up right now. I'm not stalling. Here it comes. 3, 2, 1. Hello, Clearview fellows. On the burrito thing, it really chaps my hide when they're folded, only to receive nothing but a big mouthful of tortilla with that first bite. God bless y'all and what you do for the Lord. Mark in Western North Carolina.
Oh, it chaps my hide too, Mark.
I want to tell you, man, thank you for writing in. If you guys are not familiar with what Mark's saying, you can go back and listen to one of our episodes last week where we basically did a grapevine episode or a grapevine segment on when you bite into a burrito, and that first bite, you want that first bite to be everything you ever dreamed of, but it's just a glob of sour cream, or in Mark's situation, it's just folded up tortilla.
Most of the time, that's where I end up. Is the first bite is really just tortilla.
I feel like, I feel like mine's a sour cream or sauce because I put a lot of sauce on it. I feel like we could get over this hump, and I've been watching you, Ryan. Ain't that cool? I'm your buckaroo. I want to be like you. I've been watching.
You were on it with the songs today.
I'm just
You're a master lyricist.
Have been watching you. I'm a poet, and I didn't know that I was one.
Wow.
I've been watching you eat burrito bowls.
Yeah.
And at first, I was like, "That's the dumbest thing I think I might have ever seen in my life."
Hurtful but fair.
The older I've gotten, and this is crazy. You have this effect on me, but I think also on others, where you do weird things like wear silly socks. Wear Hawaiian shirts.
Sure.
Eat
I don't have a Hawaiian shirt on today.
That's true. It's the
bird shirt.
Yes, the bird shirt.
It's the bird shirt.
You do odd things, and you eat burrito bowls, and I'm always like, what an odd guy. And somehow I end up doing them. If it weren't for you, I never would have played Mass Effect. I never would have started wearing silly socks. I never would have started wearing Hawaiian shirts. And now I'm really considering eating burrito bowls.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing of the disappointing burrito would be solved.
It really is. I mean, you can control the ratio of things in the bite. You actually, what I found, most places, you'll get more in a burrito bowl than you do in the burrito because they have a container to fill instead of just a tortilla.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of win-win.
The only thing stopping me is my burrito bowl would reflect my burrito, which is ground beef, cheese, sour cream. Stop.
The end.
So, lest...
Yeah, that's probably not best suited as a burrito bowl.
Lest some young lady filling up my burrito bowl think I'm a 4-year-old that doesn't eat vegetables. I'm sort of hesitant to start the burrito bowl thing.
That's fair.
But
what you could do, conversely, is add a little bit of salsa to the mix, and then you just use it as dip for tortilla chips.
Yeah, I do like... but then I forego the chips and just eat my bowl of slop.
You could do that.
I would...
It would actually be fewer calories if you did that.
I may start doing it. I may start doing the burrito bowls just seeing what happens. Mark, maybe that's what you need to do, Mark.
I will expect to see you in a bird shirt tomorrow.
I probably will wear a Hawaiian shirt tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, my dudes. So I will probably I'll probably have the honor of the Wednesday.
Honor the Wednesday with Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, if I can get a pink one, that would be, I think, the top.
That would be nice. Because on Wednesdays we wear pink.
That's right, exactly. We are referencing so many things today. I want to reference Dr. Shah back to this text message that Mark has sent in because I'm curious to know what his thoughts are.
Write in and let us know your take on the burrito versus burrito bowl debate 2024. Write in and let us know 252-582-5028, or you can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com. We'll be back after this.
Hello, Clearview family. I'm Nicole,
And I'm David.
and we want to talk to you today about the Clearview app.
You know, there are so many churches out there that put their sermons on YouTube and their announcements on Facebook and their prayer list on Periscope.
I didn't even know Periscope was still functional.
Oh, it's not. And that's why nobody can find their church's prayer list and nobody's prayers be getting answered. But here at Clearview, we believe in making our content as accessible as possible.
That's right. Clearview produces so much content every single week, including Dr. Shah's sermons, original music, a full online store, weekly prayer gatherings, and so much more.
Not to mention the #1 best-selling Christian talk show of all time.
I don't know if that's accurate.
Well, maybe not yet, but that's why we want people to download the app.
If you're listening from the Triangle area, we encourage you to check out Clearview Church in person. But if not, you can still follow all of our content on the Clearview app. It's 100% free on the Apple Store and Google Play Store. And best of all of our content is right there in one convenient spot.
Make sure you download the Clearview app today, and let's get back to the show.
Welcome back to Clearview Today with Dr. Abadan Shah, the daily show that engages mind and heart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. You can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com, or if you have any questions or suggestions for new topics, send us a text at 252-582-5028.
That's right, and we're here once again in the Clearview Today studio with Dr. Abadan Shah, who is a PhD in New Testament textual criticism, professor at Carolina University, author, full-time pastor, and the host of today's show. You can find all of his work on his website. That's abadanshah.com. Dr. Shah, we did have someone write into the show today, just wanting to thank us for the good work that the Lord is doing. This is from Mark in Western North Carolina. He did not give a middle initial, but what do you think the last name could potentially be?
Weimaraner.
Mark Weimaraner?
Weimaraner.
Mark Weimaraner from Western North Carolina. Hello, Clearview fellows, on the burrito thing.
Oh, yeah.
It chaps my hide when they're folded, only to receive nothing but a big mouthful of tortilla with that first.
Hi. Did he really write that?
Yeah, I mean, he's
love
from
it.
Western North
I
Carolina.
like this
That
guy.
is
He's
I like
hilarious.
him.
He's with
Chaps
you.
my hide.
He wants, and I'm with you too, Mark. He wants that first bite to be just the best burrito bite
like-
of all time.
It's like July 4th.
Yeah,
happening.
just
Yes,
explode in your
fireworks,
mouth.
just-
Not Cinco de Mayo, by the way. I know we're talking burritos, but it's still July
4th, right. Yeah. Right. The fireworks. It's got to be the fireworks.
Would you ever make burritos for July 4th?
Sure, why not?
Yeah?
Yeah, why not?
That's pretty
You know, talking about that, if you ever go to the Alamo, we often just go and we celebrate Bowie, Jim Bowie, and we celebrate Bowie, not
yeah.
Bowie. How
Huey.
you say it?
David, I think it's David Bowie, isn't it? Or David Bowie?
David Bowie
David
is
Bowie's a musician.
Musician.
No, that's David Bowie. You talking about David?
just said David Bowie.
Like the weird guy from Labyrinth?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Jim Bowie is the guy with the knife.
No, who's the
And-
guy with the raccoon hair?
And David Bowie got his name
Hold on one
from
second.
Jim Bowie.
Hold on one second.
Did you know that?
Crockett.
Wait, David Crockett. We can't put this out. Unless that look like a moron. We got to cut this out.
No, this needs to come.
No, wait a minute. So wait, Davy Crockett's the guy with the raccoon hat. Jim Bowie.
Johnny Appleseed, pot on the
Hold
head.
on, stop. You're confusing me. Tell me who Jim Bowie is.
The guy with the knife.
Okay.
Okay.
The Bowie knife.
Bowie knife.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he was there at the Alamo. Let me see. Y'all keep talking.
Yeah. So that was the thing that I didn't know because I knew the remember the Alamo.
Yeah.
Raccoon hat.
Uh-huh.
Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett.
David Bowie is the freak from Labyrinth.
Davy Crockett.
That's the one that the Flight of the Conchords did Bowie's in space. I don't know
But
if
here's
you ever
the
heard that.
interesting thing. Since you bring him up, David Bowie, he got his name from Jim Bowie
Oh, okay.
because that's not his original name.
I didn't know that.
Yes, that's not his
Oh,
original
like
name.
a stage name? Like he picked that?
and he got it
Oh, okay.
from Jim Bowie.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
you weren't far off.
That's probably one of the only normal things about him. Have you ever seen Labyrinth? Don't watch it. It's
Okay.
weird. It's weird.
It's
He's
like
a
a fever
freak.
dream. It's-
Yeah, he was the Goblin King in Labyrinth.
So going back to the Alamo for just a minute,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
burrito conversation sparked this memory because one of the chapters in our book, 30 Days of Praying for Our Nation, under Forgotten Heroes, there's a chapter called Forgotten Heroes, which is number 21.
That's right.
And when we talk about the Alamo, we often remember William Travis, who was a commander. We remember Jim Bowie, who was a pioneer known for his knife. He was there. And your buddy, Davy Crockett was there.
Davy Crockett was there.
He frontiersman and former U.S. congressman. He was there. James Bonham. He is it's kind of like a second lieutenant from South Carolina, which we don't know him as much.
Right.
But we definitely know Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett, right? Mm-hmm. But did you know that those were not the only people who were there?
I didn't know that.
I mean, there were a lot of other people there.
Soldiers and such?
Oh, yeah. But there were also Mexican and Tejano patriots who were there fighting to stay American.
Wow. That I didn't know.
Yeah. So we often just think it's a bunch of Americans out there fighting all the
Mexicans and stuff.
all the soldiers of Santa Anna's force. Mm-hmm. But that's not true. Some of those names are like Juan Abamillo, Juan Badillo, Carlos Espalier, Gregorio Esperanza, Antonio Fuentes, Calba Fugua, Jose Guerrero. And these are names that we don't associate with the Alamo, but these were the people who also fought and died there.
Wow. On the American side.
That's right.
Wow.
They fought to be American.
So you don't hear that.
You never hear that part of the story.
So the reason I share that is because, as the world is trying to divide us as Americans, we need to remind people, hey, no, America is far bigger than you have imagined.
Great
That's
point.
right.
And there are Hispanic Americans who are very patriotic, who love this country, and are proud to be Americans.
100%. Love it.
So, love the burrito.
Amen.
I will
Amen.
cook it. I will have it on 4th of July.
There you go, man.
In
That's
their
brilliant.
memory.
You're
The
talking
burrito of independence.
You're talking my language now. Thank you so much to Mark for writing in. You guys make sure you write in as well. 252-582-5028. I almost gave up my actual phone number. All right, get us into the current events.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Clearview Current, where we cut through the chaos of today's headlines with a clear Christian perspective. We're here to keep you up to date on what's going on with the world, big or small.
There was a study, Dr. Shah, of Gray Matter Research that posted a lot of post-COVID church attendance numbers. And I'm not going to lie, they weren't great.
Yeah.
They weren't great.
You want to read us some of those stats?
Yeah, let's
coming
do
from
it.
Gray Matter
Yeah.
Church Consulting?
Yeah, let's do
So
it.
prior to the pandemic, 5% of all church-going evangelicals, they first found the church they regularly attended by viewing services digitally. In the midst of the pandemic, which is 2020 to 2021, this doubled to 10%. And then among evangelicals who began their current church search in 2022 or more recently than that, it's up to 15%. So people are looking, but they're looking not in person. They're looking online.
It's getting bigger, but the percentages are still like objectively small. Like
Right.
the attendance is not the big boom that I think we were promised, especially by other pastors who wanted to, or even just church leaders who wanted to back off of this thing,
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, digital is going to be the way we go. This is the way of the future." And it's like there was a small increase, but not nearly the numbers I think we were expecting.
Because there's something about in-person connection. And I know there are people who cannot because just physically they cannot do it. But I don't think that's really the reason for a lot of people who are staying home and watching, and they may even be tithing and giving. And I commend you for that. We have people in our church who tithe and give. Some of them are physically unable to get out.
Right.
And I totally understand their situation, their predicament. But then there are people who are able to get out, but they choose not to because it's easier to sit at home, watch the service, take it easy, be in their pajamas, and then eat the leftovers from Saturday night and chill. And family comes over to visit and they hang out, whatever, or they go somewhere to visit. And to me, that is absolutely wrong.
It's wrong because you're treating it like, oh, it's like a snow day from school. Like I get to stay home, not have to sacrifice anything to go and worship the Lord. I can do it from right here in my armchair, and it's guilt-free because I actually was able to do it.
Right.
And I think what a lot of people are forgetting is that social aspect, but also just the numbers don't lie. If that's true, then that means 75 to 76% of people are still going to a church just in person and finding churches that way.
Yeah, and we're talking about first-time visitors checking out churches.
100%.
That's still like 75, 76%.
So why would I sit at home and be like, I know the majority of people are still doing it this way. That's the way that it should be done. And even though there's no clear and present danger here, I'm just going to continue to watch church online. And that's going to be how I feed myself spiritually.
And a lot of people have told me that who are coming to church and have been coming, some came back, that when they stayed away, whether it was for a week or whether it was for 6 months or to a year, we had some people who did not come back for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
When they did come back, they said, oh my goodness, that just was not right. It did not feel right. It did not sound right. Nothing was right about that.
Right.
So on one hand, I commend people who are watching online because they cannot get out, just not physically able to get out. But at the same time, I want to challenge people who can, but they're choosing to stay comfortable and they're missing out on something that is invaluable, which is the face-to-face connection with the people of God. Hebrews talks about that. Do not forsake the assembling of yourselves together. And if we truly believe that, assembly cannot just happen behind screens.
That's right.
Of course, we can make it happen. We tried it and it worked for a little while. And for some people, it has to be. But that is not at all how it's supposed to be. In assembling face-to-face or in a room or sanctuary, whatever, you're able to connect with each other. You're able to respond. There is some reciprocity that is happening.
Right.
That cannot happen when you're sitting behind a screen or your tablet or your phone. It just cannot happen.
That's right. And we work very hard at Clearview to make our live streaming experience the best that it could possibly be. But one thing that I see, and Dr. Shah, I know you would probably agree with this, I see churches messing up is they want that to be the experience. They want it to be an experience all your own, something that it's so good that you have to stay home and just see what it's like. And I think a lot of people are finding that it's being hidden behind this mask of this is how you reach young people. But I'm looking at this Gray Matter research right now, and it said 4% of evangelicals under 35 found their church through a digital service.
Yeah.
4%. But they're saying this is how you reach the young people, man. This is why you got to invest in all this live streaming stuff, and you got to just make it as excellent as possible. Well, only 4% of people actually found their church through digital means.
That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And we spend so much time trying to attract them young folks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not even looking at it.
Yeah, I'm not looking. Not
we're
looking at it at all.
We're looking for meaningful relationships.
Yeah.
That's
which is
right.
why I'm so thankful, Dr. Shah. Like through when we had to do parking lot services and we had to meet outside, it wasn't just worship services. We did those, but there was also Blaze Kids service on Sunday morning for our children and their families, and there was also service for our students, our student ministry on Sunday nights.
100%.
That's right.
Because if we're looking at these numbers correctly, the numbers where people who are younger are looking for digital services is very, very small.
That's right.
They want that in-person connection. They want that meaningful relationship.
Absolutely. And you cannot deny with the facts. And here are the facts.
Yeah.
That in-person matters.
That's right.
So if you are there listening to this radio show or watching it online or YouTube, whatever, and you do not attend service and you physically can, then you should go to bed on time Saturday night.
There you go.
Get up early enough Sunday morning. Take your time because since you haven't been doing this for a while,
Yeah.
you may need a little extra
You
time
need
to get
time to
ready.
get back
Time
into
in
the
the
flow
morning,
of things.
Get ready and go to the church where God's word is preached, the gospel is preached, and get connected with people.
And tell your pastor you're sorry, man. Hey, I'm sorry I laid out for 2 or 3 years looking at everything.
well, now it will be for
online.
like 4 years now.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, in
At this
2020,
point.
this is 2024.
There you go.
4 years. Can you believe that?
And
4 years.
how many of you guys are sending your tithes in digitally? Guarantee you none of them. Not one person.
Maybe some are. Maybe some are.
Maybe
And thank you
some.
for doing that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
appreciate
if you
it.
are doing it, thank you.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
That's a wrap for today's edition of the Clearview Current. Thanks for tuning in and staying connected with us as we navigate this crazy world's events together. Until next time, keep your hearts lifted, your minds sharp, and your spirit joyful.
Dr. Shah, today's verse of the day is coming to us from 1 Kings chapter 9 and verse 3. It says, "And the Lord said to him, I have heard your prayer and your supplication that you have made before me. I have consecrated this house which you have built to put my name there forever, and my eyes and my heart shall be there perpetually." What a fitting topic.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you pick this out?
I didn't know.
That's
Appropriate.
so
No,
funny.
in fact, I'm glad you asked because all these verses are brought to you by the day's sponsor, Date the Word app. You can get it for free right now on your iPhone or Android. Thank you to Date the Word. No, I did not pick it for that purpose.
That's funny.
go. Yeah.
That is talking about, I have consecrated this house which you have built to put my name there forever. And of course, this is God's house, a temple and all that, but it also applies to us in some way. There's an application
100%.
there for a physical location where the church body meets.
Right.
And we just talked about that.
You always get the
100%.
people who are like the hyper spiritual. It's not about the building. It's not about the. We are the church. Yeah, correct. Yes, but I mean, don't you think that God's people throughout the Scripture have said the same thing? Like, we are the ones that God is working on. We're God's people. But there is something important about meeting together in
Where
a
you
building
meet.
together.
100%. In fact, wrote a song about it right here on Clearview Worship. I hate to keep plugging our stuff, but hey, that's why we have a show for. It's called The Gathering. We released it in 2020, I think, at the height
Yes.
of all this
Yes.
craziness.
Yes.
Make sure you grab it on iTunes or Spotify right now. We'll leave a link in the description. Yeah, I truly did not pick that at all. That was
go.
kind of crazy.
That's
It
the
aligned
Holy
very well.
Spirit.
That's
Holy
right.
Spirit. Well, I think the Holy Spirit has given us something else to talk about because someone else wrote in to the show. We've been getting more and more and more. We get a lot of text messages, and a lot of people ask these questions that we feel like would be good for lightning round questions. But then it's like, once you ask it, it's like, well, it's its own discussion. Anna V from NC. What do you think the V stands for?
I can take a guess, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I could take a guess too, but I'm going to say
V's a hard one.
V is a hard one. Velcro.
Anna Velcro from North Carolina. Hey, do you guys have an episode on leadership on Clearview Today? And she put some bald eagles and some flag emojis.
Nice. We love the emojis.
Yeah, we do talk a lot about leadership. I actually went to start going and finding some of the episodes, and then I was like, man, there's so many here, and they're so far down, like, I don't know. So I figured maybe we just give her another episode on leadership. Here's a fresh new episode on leadership, specifically maybe church leadership. Dr. Shah, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have so many episodes. We've talked about rebuilding a ministry. We've talked about how to lead the staff to cast a vision. We talked about how to apply vision. We've talked about changing an organization that does not want to follow you. We've talked about how to lead people who don't want to be led.
Yeah, true. Very true.
That's tough.
We've talked about how to lead people who challenge you, who are critical of you, are cynical of you. And that, I think, is something that a lot of people struggle with. How to lead people who are sort of upset with you.
Yeah, true. Especially, I think, during all this, like we were talking about, from 2020 onwards, everything sort of changed. And I remember when all that happened, everybody was sort of grasping for purchase, like just trying to find something solid to hold on to. And I remember one of the things you said, I think you were even saying it on like the radio show that we were doing at the time, is that everything rises and falls on leadership.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If the leader isn't strong, then that crisis will change everything and not for the better.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's important for us, especially in light of how the world has changed, because the world really has changed.
Yeah.
Since the pandemic, since all the shutdowns, the world really has changed. People's approaches to church, people's approaches to life have changed. So if you don't think that your leadership style or your leadership strategies need to change, you are behind the eight ball. I mean, I hate to say that, but you have some catching up to do.
How do you, Dr. Shah, reconcile either in your mind or just out there in reality with this idea that leadership is leadership? Church leadership is something different. You know what I mean? Like business leaders, world leaders, they're strong, they're tough. Hey, they may be a little bit crass or they may say stuff I don't like, but I want a strong leader. In the church now, that's a sin. I don't want that.
Yeah, that's a great point. There's a balance that is needed there. Okay, so on one hand, church leadership is like the leadership in the world. You're inspiring people, you're challenging people, you're protecting the vision, you're trying to help people get to a better place. It's not just giving people what they want.
Right.
That's what sometimes people think. But what if they want junk? Does that mean
Yeah.
my job as a leader to give them junk? No. My job is to help them find the most fulfillment, and if I can put it in a Christian language, is for them to find God's plan for their lives. So in that sense, the definitions are very simple, very, very similar. What church leadership is about and what leadership in the world is all about. But when it comes down to church leadership, ultimately, my goal is not just that people will follow me. My goal is that people will follow Jesus Christ.
That's right.
So things change at that point.
Yeah.
It's not just for me to get my will done today and be happy that, hey, everything that I wanted to do and everything that I feel like is the right thing for this organization is being done. No, my goal is for them, each person, to come to know Christ.
That's right. And I love that you have made that decision, and we as a church made that decision to put our goals right in front of everybody's face. Like the first thing you see when you walk in, other than our front desk, is our goals as a church, what our mission statement is. We want to lead people in a life-changing, ever-growing relationship with Jesus Christ. And I think one of the things that trips us up as Christians is there's a lot of Christian, quote-unquote, leaders whose main goal is to sell you something, to sell you a book, to sell you an ideology, to sell you a sermon series or an album or whatever it is. That's their goal, is for you to buy into what they're selling.
Yeah.
And it's masqueraded as, this is for your benefit. This is going to bring you close to God.
Well, I think that's the mark of a good leader, is that, you know, you look at the transactional relationship between you and the people that you're leading. What is the goal? What is the motivation? Are you leading them so that you can benefit? Are you leading them for what you can get from them? Or are you leading them because you want what's better for them?
Right. And ultimately, our goal should be, you want something that God has for them.
Right.
And that would help them fulfill His plan for their lives. You know, I was reading this morning through Ezekiel. I've been reading through different sections in the Old New Testament. And in the Old Testament, it talks about God promises that one day He will give them shepherds after His own heart.
Right.
And these are shepherds who will go after the lost. These are shepherds who will go after the broken. These are shepherds who will go after those who are scattered. So that is very distinct when it comes to Christian church leadership, that we are an embodiment of Jesus Christ, not just a fearless leader who gets the job done, or he conquers more territory than was assigned, or he comes out victorious and everybody just, you know, wow, this attaboy, or, you know, sings to your praises. This is about doing what Jesus came to do, which is to seek and to save that which was lost.
Right. That's right.
So we have to have a different heart. I have to make sure when I lead, whether I'm leading this team here or the church body or leading in the community, is that ultimately, does Jesus look down at me and go, yep, you're doing right, keep going, you're good. That's exactly. I know people may not be happy with you, or they may be very happy with you, but you're doing exactly what I want you to do, keep going. Or does he shake his head and go, wow, look at this guy, he has no sense of my presence. He is busy promoting himself and getting his pockets filled or living his best life.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be well done, good and faithful servant.
True. Very true. Do you have anything to kind of encourage young Christian leaders? Because I think there's a lot of Christian leaders who genuinely want to be that first type of leader that has the presence of God, but whether it's through fear of failure or being enticed by the wrong people, maybe find themselves just materialistic or just success-driven rather than God-driven. Dr. Shah, do you have any encouragement as we're wrapping up today? Because I think there's a lot of young Christian leaders out there who genuinely want to be that first type of leader, where you've got the Spirit of Christ and you're going forward. And whether it's through fear or being enticed by the wrong people, they just find themselves more and more success-driven. What encouragement would you give them?
I would say, learn from the best leaders out there. Watch them. See what they do differently than the rest of the people. Don't just pick leaders because they're famous or they just know how to talk on social media, or they're the coolest and the funnest people and happiest people, so it seems. Pick out people who are doing the most for other people.
Right.
Pick out those kind of people and go, what is it that this person is doing? This person is actually, through his life or through her life, helping a lot of people. So I want to learn from this person. I want to learn what it means to live a life of influence.
Right.
That's
a great
not
point.
Just remember that we talked about that a while back with John Maxwell.
Yes.
It's not just about what you do. It's not just about what you do for others. It's how you help others help others.
Yeah.
That's really success.
That's right.
So those are the kind of people. Learn from them. Watch, learn. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Educate yourself.
100%.
Yeah.
So good. So important for us, too. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, write in and let us know, 252-582-5028. Or you can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com. Don't forget, you can partner with us financially on that same website. Every gift that you give goes not only to building up this radio show, but countless other ministries for the gospel of Jesus. Lots of great content coming your way. Make sure you guys tune in. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow on Clearview Today.